Hello again YouTube, Mad Dog here, welcome back to my channel. So in this video I just wanted to show you guys and lasses in a little bit more detail around this stuff. I know you'll all be very familiar with this. This is the natural Kapok flash tinder, nice fibrous material. So, and yes, I do sell this stuff on eBay, but that's not what this video is about. It's about the actual fibres itself. So a little bit of background. Kapok is a fibrous high flash point flash tinder, which we use in conjunction with a ferrocerium rod to get your fires established initially. But I'll just give you a quick demonstration here, just quickly. It's a very short-lived flame, but it can be used as a coal extender. I'll explain more in a moment. So as you can see, it flames up quite readily but very quickly. The actual material will then continue to smoulder and burn, making it a coal extender. So it has its uses, but it also has its limitations. So because it's a flash tinder, it isn't ideally suited to be used in conjunction with any of the friction fire methods or solar ignition. So if you're going to create an ember, whether it be the bow drill, the hand drill, or using a magnifying glass or Fresnel lens, let's say onto a piece of char cloth or charred fungus, whatever your material may be, ideally that ember that you've established should go into a nice fibrous, more substantial bird's nest. Kapok isn't ideally suited for that. Yes, you can add it into a bird's nest and it will extend your coal, but don't expect to blow it to flame, because this Kapok material, by its fundamentals, how it's made, it's high in cellulose, which gives it its flammability, and therefore, because of the tiny fibres, holds a lot of oxygen. It is also highly impregnated with a wax, a waxy substance, which also makes it resistant and very good for buoyancy. So that being said, yes, it's a good flash tinder, but not ideal if you're already establishing an ember from your charred material to add into. Don't forget, a ferrocerium rod throws 3000 degrees sparks. Most embers or flint and steel sparks 800 degrees, a lot cooler, so not ideal to use that for that. So a quick bit of background on the Kapok tree itself. Obviously it grows in Africa, it grows in some parts of Asia and Central and Southern America. So that being said, it's not actually hardy enough to survive over in the UK in its natural sort of environment, if you like. It's too cold, too wet, too damp over in the UK. You can grow it in pots and containers over in the UK, but you have to bring them in during the autumn and winter, and obviously because it's in a container will only grow quite small, whereas in its real habitat, Kapok trees, especially in Africa, I believe Kapok is the tallest tree that grows in Africa. It can grow in excess of 300 feet tall, so a very substantial tree. An average Kapok tree will produce between 400 and 5,000 seed pods. The seed pods they look like kiwi type fruits, and when ripe burst open, producing a shower of seeds which are cocooned within this fibrous material, which we all use and know as flash tinder. However, the tree has many other uses too. The flowers, prior to the pods being produced, you can steep them quickly in boiled water and they are edible. The leaves, they can be crushed and they can be turned into a very effective antiseptic, anti-stringent sort of balm. The bark makes brilliant cordage. It's very fibrous, but all the way up the trunk of the tree and some of the lower limbs, it's armour plated, if you like, with some great big rhinoceros style big ass spiky thorns all the way up. So it's quite a formidable tree. Like I say, they can grow in excess of 300 feet tall, so it's not a small bush. The Kapok itself, because of the nature of the fibres, even in small amounts like this is, yes, like I say, I do sell this on eBay. I do stuff a lot in here. There will come, if you do buy any of this, thin like that, because basically I've compressed it just for P&P, but you get the same amount as what's in here. When you're using this stuff, be careful, do it in a ventilated area, don't be exposed to this stuff for too long. Because of the small fibres, it can bring on bronchitis and more serious long-term illnesses. People that work with this stuff, especially in Asia, for long periods of time, have become seriously ill because of the poor PPE, etc. What else can I tell you about the Kapok tree or the Kapok fire tinder? Like I say, it's a great flash tinder to get your fire started initially, but I wouldn't recommend using it in conjunction with any of the friction fires. It's just not the right type of tinder. It is water resistant because of the waxy materials that are within the fibres of Kapok, so that is an advantage. And it's also very insulating. Obviously this stuff was originally harvested for stuffing, excuse me. So they used to stuff settees, chairs, kiddies' toys, etc. with it. So for us bushcrafters, you can also use it for stuffing, pillows, etc. It is very insulating, it's very warm, traps a lot of heat out of air. But that being said, because it's a flash tinder, do so at your own risk. It's very, very flammable. So yeah, that's a basic background into Kapok. It's easy just to buy it and use it and think, well, that's Kapok, similar to the cattail over in the UK. Whilst it is a flash tinder, yes, it isn't similar at all, because the background is completely different to cattail. Excuse me. The seeds of Kapok can be made edible. If you do find any seeds in your Kapok tinder, don't be tempted to do the bush tucker trial because when they're in their raw, untreated form, they are quite toxic. You do have to go through various processes to make them edible. They contain a lot of oils, the seeds do, so high in calories. Some of the native people, especially in Africa, use the seeds to produce a form of soap because of the waxiness. The same with the leaves, you can use that also for different medicinal purposes. I believe that some of the tribeswomen, they used to use the leaves as a tonic to help cure diabetes, and in some cases they found that it helped with symptoms of Parkinson's disease. I don't know how true that is, but they seem to, you know, find that useful. So that's the Kapok. I'll probably post a couple of pictures of the tree and etc. if I can at the end of this video. I can't really remember anything else to mind at the moment to bore you all to death with anymore for my did you knows, if you like. Probably rambled on way too long already. But if you do fancy trying some of this stuff as a flash tinder, go check out my eBay shop as always. The link will be in the description box below. Excuse me. And oh, footnote, I'm closing my little Mad Dog mystery box giveaway as of tonight. So if you haven't already done so, please go and get yourself involved. Check out my previous video. I will be doing another one very soon, so stay tuned for the next one, the Mad Dog mystery box number 2. Like I say, there's nothing flashy fancy in these boxes, just little token gestures. You know, it's just, like I say, a way of saying thank you back to you guys and lasses for your continued support. Keep checking in on my little Mad Dog videos. I appreciate it. It's always good of you. So I'll leave you all in peace for now. I'll probably post another video over the weekend, so stay tuned for that. Take care out there. Mad Dog signing off. Yeah!